welcome to Armstrong High School for playoff football at its finest here, the Section 5 5A Championship, an all Robbinsdale District matchup for you here tonight as the number 2 seed, the Cooper Hawks, take on the number 1 seed, the Armstrong Falcons. I am Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, regular season meeting between these two was as close as you could get right here on this field. Armstrong winning in double overtime, and that really got them the home game in this section final. Both teams have had good years. Both teams looking to get to state.
Yeah, and they're really competitive. That game went to double overtime, right down to the wire. They both can run the football. They pass the football. They got good athletes on defense. They're very evenly matched tonight, so I'm really excited. It's different, though, when everything's on the line. That regular season game is all about rivalries and bragging rights, but when this could be the end of your season, like everything matters, that's when we want to see this matchup. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I was talking to the teams about that very fact this week, that you can't get caught up in the hype as much anymore at this time. It's just more important to keep winning, otherwise you'll be turning in the equipment on Monday.
Well, it's win in advance, right? So your whole season is condensed into 1 week, and what you do, how you prepare, your game plan, everyone's locked in. And for those seniors that aren't going to be fortunate enough to play college football, this is the last time you're going to lace it up in front of your home fans and your teachers, your community. So everything on the line, that's what you dream about when you're young. These are the moments where stars are born and where great games are born, and I think tonight's going to be another replica of what they did earlier in the year.
Some pretty good players on both these teams. Let's talk key players to look for, starting with Cooper. And Emmanuel Carmo is a stud. He's one of the best juniors in the state. He'll be playing an awful lot on both sides of the ball.
Well, I love that you didn't say a position, because he'll do whatever it takes to win. You know, he's got, I think it was 6 carries on the year. They just moved him to running back, 3 touchdowns. They'll move him to tight end. He's a beast when he catches the ball there. You're going to see him all over the field on defense. They're going to need him defensively tonight at that linebacker position, because Armstrong has a very good quarterback, a very good running back who we'll talk about, and they can beat you down the field. They can beat you running the football. He's got to be outstanding tonight. It's going to be a good challenge for him.
And for Armstrong, a guy we did not get a chance to see in Week 8 against Andover, they held Kevon Johnson out. He had a wrist injury. There was a fear that maybe he was done for the year, but he got the good news that he can play. He got 10 touches last week against St. Louis Park to kind of get back into the flow, and they feel he's pretty much full go tonight.
Yeah, and he's a guy that can score every time he touches the ball. We did the Andover Armstrong a few weeks ago, Jay. Their offense, was good, but you could tell it was missing that home run punch. He is that home run punch. He makes them whole. He's so quick. He's fast. He's a great kid too. I was talking to him at that last game. You could tell it killed him to be out and missing a game. So glad to have him back, and they're going to be riding him. If they're going to win this game, he's going to be a big reason why.
The rivalry has flipped just a little bit in the last couple of years. Cooper had won 7 in a row coming into last year, but now Armstrong's won the last 3 meetings, and you know that bothers the guys who have come down the road from New Hope here to play this one.
Well, and we always talk about these two communities. They know each other. They do stuff in the summer. They compete against each other in other sports, so it matters. And with all of it on the line, I mean, you can't ask for a better atmosphere tonight. And I'll tell you what, you throw the records out. You know what I mean? You throw whoever the 1 seed or the 2 seed. It doesn't matter. Just good football, and who can make one more play than the other team.
All right, weather's better than what we thought it might be coming into this week. It's not bad at all, just a light breeze. Temperature not real warm, but not too bad either for November football. It's Armstrong and Cooper going to battle for the Section 5 championship. Up next, the winner goes to state. And here we go as Luke Wiesjohn kicking off for Armstrong. Simaj Young will take it at the 19 for Cooper, trying to cut his way across the field, and he gets to the edge. Young cutting it back, gets a block, and he has a chance to go. one guy with a chance at him here, and he's pushed down inside the 10-yard line. And it looks like it'll stand, no flags, and what a start for Cooper. They tried to pin him to this near sideline, and instead Young gets all the way across the field and gets all the way inside the 10 of the Falcons.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's one of those where you're yelling on the sideline, just go straight, right? You see these guys that with great speed try to make something happen, but look at that speed, look at him take off, and then he's got a nice wall of blockers out in front. That's a great start. You're on the road, you're an underdog. That's exactly the kind of play you need. How about the hustle, too, by Eli Kemple? Didn't quit on the play, able to run him down. But, wow, what a start for the Hawks.
So Cooper will get it. They'll spot it right at the 10-yard line, in fact, as Cameron Fox leads them out, and they try and capitalize on this early kickoff return. Golden opportunity to start the night here for the Hawks. Oh, the snap dribbles back, and Fox is just going to have to pounce on this one, and they'll lose about 4.
Yeah, and you got to be careful when you have a big momentum play like that. If you don't get into the end zone, sometimes the momentum can swing back to the other side. So they're fortunate to recover that one. They got to punch this one in after that great kickoff.
Fox over to confer with Tony Patterson, who calls the plays for the Hawks, and their co-head coach. And now they'll face a second down and long here. Second and goal from, they call it the 13 on the scoreboard here. Got Amari Davison in the backfield with him. Fox stepping up, looking like he was going to try and throw that one, but instead he is taken down. Dropped there by Langdon College.
Well, Jay, I'll tell you what, Langdon College, we had talked about him in the pregame of our last game. Had a quiet night against Andover, and here you go, first drop back. Watch his speed. Watch him get up the field. He's going to be on the right side here. He is already up the field, closes down. That is a great speed rush.
Fox, I think, definitely was intending to throw, but then he stepped up and he realized he better protect the football, and he did so. So third down now from the 15. Hawks going backward. Fox throwing for the corner of the end zone, and it is intercepted, it looks like. Yes, indeed. It is picked off there by Armstrong's Abram Hatteen. And so the Falcons will take over on the interception in the end zone. They'll get it at their 20.
Yeah, and I think Cameron Fox made the right play there, Jay. There was pressure coming down, and he just threw it up. He wanted to give his guy a chance to make a play. Again, low snap. As a quarterback, you just feel that kind of everyone coming down, bearing down on you. And then because of that, had to throw it a little early and didn't allow the receiver to get down the field. And nice job by Hatteen there, ready for it, making the play. And a good stand by this Falcon defense.
Yeah, so they give up the long kickoff return, but then force a turnover. So it'll be Dawson Franke, the junior, leading the Armstrong offense out there at the 20, and they go to Kevon Johnson on first down, and he is popped immediately. Colley getting in there, and Jalen Hayes as well. So Cooper has had a strong defensive year, and they're looking to slow and shut down this Armstrong offense as much as possible.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, too, I was really impressed with Dawson Franke the last game that we did. He impressed me not only with his throwing, but his toughness and ability to run, too.
This time it's Franke running it, ran into Hayes there and is dropped. Got back the yard they lost on the previous play, I think, but that's about it. So it'll be 3rd and 10 coming up here.
Yeah, good start for this Cooper defense. You see those athletic linebackers bearing down, then they're sure tacklers, too.
Overall, Cooper playing a fairly young lineup. Quite a few sophomores mixed in, a freshman or two even.
As you look at Franke's numbers, I love the 19 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. Takes care of the football.
Throwing over the middle for Seth Newbern, and he's got it. He'll have a first down out over the 40-yard line. Actually not too bad a coverage there, but they squeezed that ball in. A nice throw by Franke and a nice grab by Newbern, who's a pretty big wide receiver.
And Gurley, pretty good coverage. You're going to see this. And Newbern, obviously a really good basketball player, too. Almost like he's boxing that defensive back out. Used his body to protect it, made the catch in traffic. Good first down pickup.
Johnson taking the handoff here as they went quick, and very minimal gain, maybe a yard or so. And the Hawks have done a good job defensively stopping the run. I mean, they gave up that third down pass, though.
Yeah, and then if you're Armstrong, you got to figure out maybe it's throwing on first down or second down. You don't want to keep putting yourself in third and long and forcing plays like they just got. That's a tough ask of your quarterback.
Go to Johnson again, ran into his own man, keeps the legs driving, and that time a little bit better pickup as you'll get out over the 45, gain of about 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, and he's only 5'9". You almost saw him kind of tucked in behind one of his linemen there. And you just see those legs moving. That's what you running backs have to do, keep those legs moving. Ends up picking up about 6 on the play.
Armstrong going up to the line quickly, and then they'll look to the bench to possibility of changing the plays. They've got a pretty varied offense this year. Got some good receivers, and obviously we saw Johnson's had 1,300 yards rushing. Franke rolling to his right here. He'll throw on the run, and it is complete. Tackle broken, and now a chance to go all the way here for Eli Kemple, and he's going to be brought down at about the 5-yard line as a little drag route, and they spring him, and he nearly went the distance.
Yeah, we saw Kemple. He's saved the touchdown on that kickoff return by Cooper. And here, third down, and what sets it up, good play action. You get everyone to just suck up a little bit towards the line of scrimmage, and a nice throw, easy throw for Kemple, and he's a nice big safe target for a quarterback. He's got pretty good speed for a guy of his size.
Gurley able to run him down, but not until he gets to the 5-yard line. First and goal from the 5. Here's Kevon Johnson spinning his way in for the touchdown, and the Falcons will get on the board first as Johnson finishes the drive with a 5-yard run.
Well, what a start for Armstrong. You get the big goal line stand, you get the interception, and then some really nice offense too, and good balance. Struggled running the ball, hit a couple of nice pass plays, and then that young man, Kevon Johnson, doing what he's done 13 times coming into this game, finds the end zone. Great start for the Falcons.
John on to attempt the extra point, and his kick is up, and it is good. And so with 7:14 to go in the first, it is Armstrong striking first. Great sequence of plays, as Ryan said, for them. They get the defensive interception in the end zone, and then they get the touchdown.
Yeah, and a really nice job up front. You saw Terrell Prince, big number 58 there, moving white jerseys out of the way, and you allow Johnson to just kind of squeeze in there.
Saw the logo a moment ago, and we want to thank our sponsors for helping us present tonight's game live on TV and online. And that was with the first one we'll talk about, Frankie's Pizza in New Hope, 36th and Winnetka Avenue. We thank them so much for their help. They open up at 11 o'clock every morning, and Chicago-style pizza and much more. That sounds very good after a game.
And if they're watching, feel free to bring one at halftime for the booth and all of our good crew out here, too. That sounds good. But, yeah, you were talking about how Armstrong has a pretty varied offense, right? I mean, 215 yards a game rushing, which is outstanding, but also 138 passing yards. So, you know, generally the teams that are still playing this time of year, they have good balance. If you only do one thing well, good teams can shut that down. You got to have that nice mix and match, and the Falcons definitely do.
John will boot this one away, see if they can cover it better this time. Young juggles it and will take it at the 15. And there's room up the middle. Here he goes again, and ridden down out at about the 43-yard line by Fitz Freeman, but another good return for Samaj Young for Cooper, and they'll see if they can do something with it this time around after they were stopped in the end zone last time on an interception.
Yeah, I've seen enough. If I'm Armstrong, I'm not kicking towards him. He picks up, he fumbles the ball just right up the middle, and you can see he's just slippery and good speed too. Excellent return. Again, good field position here for Cooper.
On the Hawks 43. Fox going to hand off to Davison and spills forward for 3 or so. The sophomore, Randy Smith, got injured early in the year, so Davison seeing a lot more carries, and we'll probably see some of Colley and Carmo handling the football in the backfield as well.
Yeah, Davison 320 yards. They don't have anyone with eye-popping numbers, Jay, but they have a bunch with, plenty of carries. So they got good balance, good depth, and these young guys are only going to get better and better.
Fox swings the pass out. Ooh, led his guy into a hit, but Chris Oates makes the catch and hangs on. They'll only gain about 3 on the play, but a nice little pass play to get things out. It was well defended, though, and those are the ones when you're the receiver, you're going, oh, I mean, I got to hang on, but I know I'm going to take one here.
And hats off to him for hanging on to it, right? You know the contact is coming. That's like going across the middle. And yeah, that was a good hit by Gideon Brecker.
I had no idea.
3rd and 4 coming up here for Cooper at their 49-yard line. They trail it 7-0. Halfway through this first quarter, timeout taken by the Hawks as they didn't like where they were at coming up to the line there, it looked like, and take a moment to discuss things here.
Yeah, and I like that too. I think Coach Patterson was recognizing, hey, we're not off to the greatest start. We got a good opportunity. It's 3rd and manageable. Let's make sure we're in the right call, the right personnel. We got to pick up this first down.
Jack Ningen, the Armstrong head coach, and he was looking forward to tonight. He knows that Cooper's got some good players, and obviously it was a very tough game the first time around, and been pretty fun to see both these programs being pretty strong of late in
at
football.
The same time too. I feel like for years it seemed to alternate who was maybe had the more strength, and this year both are very good teams.
Fox stepping up, got by the first wave and then is wrestled down, kind of like a steer wrestling there. Jack Bailey will bring him down well short of the first down. He got just over the midfield stripe, so got about 1.5 yards there.
Yeah, we got a hold on
We did have a penalty though. This might be an interesting one, whether you take this or not. I mean, normally you'd say for sure you take a hold, but it'll be 4th down if they decline it.
It looks like they are declining it, so it's going to be.
But where you're at with your Cooper right now, it's not out of the question that you'd go for it. They've got 4th and 2, but it does look like they're punting. Carmo, who does a little bit of everything, is the punter as well.
Well, he's a really good athlete, and he's good in the ball in his hand. So if I'm Armstrong, I'm making sure that he's not keeping it, running it, throwing it, catching it. Make sure he punts it here.
Brecker waiting back deep here for Armstrong. Carmo gets the way a kick. It's high and short, drifting toward the sideline there, and it'll be down at about the 23-yard line. So not a great punt, but decent. No return ability there.
Yeah, another flag thrown on that too. Along the sideline, sometimes you'll get a hold or illegal contact to the head. Different things when those guys on the sidelines get tangled up.
This one will be a hold against Armstrong. So, on a punt where you don't get a return at all, to have a hold isn't really what you're looking for if you're the receiving team there, and they're going to be pushed all the way back to their 12-yard line.
And to be honest, I was questioning why they didn't go for that, right at midfield, but now, especially with the penalty here, it ended up being the right play and really pinned Armstrong deep in their own territory here.
So Franke and crew back out there after driving the ball downfield and scoring last time with the big pass play to Kempel, getting them into position for it. And off here going to Johnson, and he's out over the 15. Pick up about 3 on that play.
Yeah, nice tackle by Manny Allen. He had to hit that hole hard. I'll tell you, Kevon Johnson, does he not hit? He fires off that line of scrimmage. He is very explosive.
And off right side this time, and dropped immediately there as Allen gets through and wraps him up.
Yeah, that's 2 nice plays in a row by Allen. That time getting through. Watch him fire through, and undersized, but you see him flying on the outside. And so many times when you get a blitz like that, a guy overruns the play. Allen did a great job of getting back there, diagnosing where the ball was, and then making a sure tackle.
It'll be a 3rd down and 8 now for Armstrong as Franke surveying the defense here. Gets pretty good protection, stepping up, throwing deep for Brecker, and it's right on the money, just out over the 40-yard line. That is for a high school quarterback, that's an impressive throw.
And what he did too, Jay, is he threw it before he was there. He threw it to a spot. And you don't see young quarterbacks do that. That was about I don't know, 25, 30-yard out. He threw it right on the money.
Again, they go quick. Then Franke wrapped up by Carmo and spun down. Forward progress, he got about back just shy of the line of scrimmage there, but Cooper defended that one very well.
Yeah, I was going to say he's so good at running the ball. I wonder if we'll see him keep it. And sure enough, good play action, but Cooper not fooled. And when Carmo gets his hands on you, you're going down. Very physical tackler.
2nd and 11 here. They've been really varying the pace, too. They're trying to not let Cooper really get comfortable defensively.
Yeah, they're up on the line, and they've gone quick, and then sometimes they've looked over to the sideline and changed the play. But you're right, they're getting up there quick.
Johnson tripped up there. Down low, hitting him was Ray Highland, another of the sophomore group for Cooper. Johnson will pick up a few, but they're still going to be facing 3rd and long.
Yeah, and right now Cooper's they're getting a nice, good job by not only their linebackers, but even some of their defensive backs, safeties coming in and tackling, defending against the run.
Call it 3rd down and 8. Johnson goes in motion. It's a quarterback draw. And he is not going to get nearly enough there. Pretty well defended. David Daniels getting his hands on Franke first. They'll pick up a few in a different spot. You'd say that's not a bad gain, but when they need it as much as they did.
On the line here, you wonder if they're going to go for it or if they're going to just try to get him to jump off sides.
Well,
I like
it
that.
Would feel risky if they did go for it here. But
I like that call, though. They sent the running back in motion, trying to get Cooper to kind of extend and move laterally and then run the quarterback draw.
Franke's going to punt this ball. Nobody back deep for Cooper, so they have a chance to pin him deep if he gets a good roll here. And trying to sweep it along, a little curling action there as Newbern will down it at about the 6. And Cooper pinned deep in their territory. So like Cooper earlier, Armstrong electing to punt, and it looks like a good choice there with nobody back to be able to field that ball.
Yeah, and when you got a quarterback that can quick kick like that and you trust him, you eliminate any chance of a return. And they don't want to see Samaj Young back there returning though after his 2 kickoff returns. So very, very heads-up play. He didn't get a good drive, but at least you swapped field position here.
We stay at 7-0 as Armstrong leading here, late first quarter now, and Cooper gets the football back, but they're at their own 6. Fox will hand it off. This is Carmo breaking a tackle. And then brought down as they get a lot of bodies to him. He's a tough guy to bring down. Doesn't necessarily have a ton of experience as like a lead running back, but he's just so strong and athletic.
When you can see just there the physicality of which he runs at. Rarely is one guy going to bring him down. You got to wrap him up, hold on, and then have good gang tackling there, pursuit to the football, because he's like a bowling ball.
Carmo gets the handoff again, forced out wide here, and then eventually nudged out. Brecker holding up on the corner pretty well there. He didn't get him down, but he made it
ran out of room.
Yeah, took away his space there.
And to your point, Jay, did you see the handoff exchange was a little awkward there? And I think to your point, just not having been a running back his whole life or not getting a ton of experience, you kind of take that little simple thing for granted, but timing can throw stuff off as well.
So about a 3rd and 4 now for Cooper as we go under a minute to play here in this opening quarter. Pretty key play here. They don't want to have to punt the ball away immediately. Fox stepping up. Now he'll throw it. It was deflected and intercepted by Brecker. Brecker down the sideline. Lunges. Did he stay in bounds?
No.
Looks like they'll call him down at about the 4. There is a flag down, however. I have to sort this one out. Pass was tipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a block in the back against Armstrong, so the interception will stand.
Field position will change. Yep. Yeah, that flag came out late, and it was along that sideline too, so I figured it might be on the return. And I thought Fox was going to maybe step up and run. He had some room. Last decision made that throw out there.
Oh, there's the block in the back, yeah.
You see Gurley, number 8 for Cooper. I don't think realized the ball was intercepted. So interception's good, but they are going to bring that back to about the 27-yard line.
So Falcons get their second turnover force, second interception already of the night. That time I'd love to give credit, but I couldn't see who that lineman was that got a hand up and deflected that pass. It definitely altered the path of the ball, and it ended up right in Brecker's hands. Now, heavy formation in the backfield here for Armstrong. Here's Johnson. Johnson's got some room, and wow. Jack Nagan kind of tipped me off that we would see a little bit of this power set. We got a couple of linemen in the backfield, defensive linemen, that is, Terrell Prince and also Dayton Franke leading the way.
Yeah, so you got some muscle there leading through, and then you can see Johnson, just that explosive turn of foot. Oh, good hit.
This time not nearly as much room to run. We'll tangle up Carmo on the stop there.
Yeah, if you're Armstrong, you got to get a body on Carmo. He just, from that defensive end, just kind of closed it down, and such a good tackler, too.
And that is going to be it for the first quarter here, as a pretty quick one. Armstrong gets the early turnover and drives it down the field to score. They lead it 7-0 after 1 here. Section 5, 5A football on CCX Sports.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School. Thanks for joining us for Section 5, 5A football on CCX Sports, and all Robbinsdale battle here, and Armstrong leading at 7-0 and trying to add to that lead as we change ends. They've got the football 2nd down and 8 from just outside the Cooper 11 after their second interception of the night. And it looks as though they're going to have that heavy set in there again with Prince and Dayton Franke in the backfield.
Yeah, and they had good success running it just a few plays ago. Picked up the first down. Let's see if they go back to it there.
Going to throw it instead. And nice. Brecker's got it for the touchdown.
That was great. Great play action. You bring the muscle in. Everyone on defense for Cooper thinking it's going to be up the middle. Great play action, and then it's just one-on-one on the outside, and Brecker's having himself a ball game tonight. Big pick. Why not? You deserve to get the touchdown thrown your way as well. Beautiful play call, and great throw, great catch.
Wiesjohn will attempt the extra point here for Armstrong. They score on the first play of the second quarter. Extra point is up and good. So at the 11:56 to play in quarter number 2, Armstrong stretches the lead now to 14-0.
Yeah, and this is exactly how you want to start out. When you're the number 1 seed, that's what you play for. Get home field advantage. And you get off to just a great start, playing good complementary football too. Offense playing well, defense. That ball a little bit high. Nice job by Brecker, just going, we call that high pointing it. Just went up, grabbed it, and you see the teammates fired up.
Papa's Cafe of New Hope helping to present our live coverage on TV and online tonight here. And 42nd Avenue, open at 7 o'clock every day. Great made from scratch food. Thanks so much to Papa's Cafe of New Hope for helping to present tonight's game. Also District 281 as well. the home district for both these schools, obviously, here tonight.
Do they have Chicago-style pizza as well?
Well, probably, I don't know what style, but I think you could get a good pizza at lunch. Weisjohn as they go onside kick.
It's live.
It was dropped, but Armstrong's still going to get it, it looks like.
Wow.
Yeah, recovery made there by Jackson Wiley.
I'll tell you what, Coach Nagan feeling the confidence. He got all the momentum and the rhythm. You could kind of tell something was different. It was a slow approach on the kick.
They're huddling up here, though. I think Cooper's saying, was this ball touched before 10 yards? You can
see it. It was touched. The question is, was it prior to 10 yards? And I don't. Because remember, once it goes 10 yards, it is a live ball. Cooper does not have to touch it first. The question is just where was that first contact made?
And Armstrong, it seemed like maybe lost an opportunity to make this
at the 40,
catch.
so it's got to be at the 50 or beyond. You can see that ball is past the 50.
It's very close, but now the flag flies very late after the play.
That was at the 49. That was a yard past where it needed to be.
So it looks like Cooper will be getting the football.
That's not the right call. That's where you got to have someone on that 10 yards and know that. So you see, Jay, if they touch it before midfield here, the 50-yard line, watch where this ball is. This ball is right there. You're a yard past the 50-yard line. Yeah, that one should be Armstrong ball. Yeah.
Then I was starting to wonder too, was it weighing in, whether they hit a receiver who was attempting to catch the ball, and the signal almost made it look like maybe that was the call, that they're like fair catch interference, or for not that they signaled fair catch, but. Wow, be all the way down to the 36 of Armstrong, so 15-yarder too.
Yeah, that's.
So Cooper coming out, Armstrong.
Ahead
I thought
of
it was
that
a great call, and it looked like they'd executed it fairly well, but didn't quite, according to the officials, go far enough. So now it's Cooper's opportunity to try and capitalize on this.
Yeah, and remember too,
great field position.
Yeah, and they've had 2 good kickoff returns, so they've had good field position. Haven't been able to take advantage of it. Let's see if they can come out here and take advantage of this call that went their way here. Short field, and see if they can execute.
Discussing where the ball should be, Willie Howard was demonstrating he thinks it should be a few yards up further yet, based on where the infraction occurred, but they're not going to get that, it looks like, so be at the 36.
Hey, I mean, that is beyond 10 yards, clearly.
Handoff here going to Davison, and he is stacked up after a gain of 1 or so.
Yeah, good push there by the Falcons. Courtney Dickerson, big number 99, blocking that middle of that offensive line. And Dayton Franke also getting a good push in there.
So it hasn't been a great start offensively here for Cooper, and they try and capitalize on good field position here. Fox will swing it out, and Young with the catch, and took a pop there from Adam, but do have a flag down on this play as well. I wonder if there wasn't blocking early on that one.
No, I thought they were going to get him for head-to-head. No.
Yeah, it is offensive pass interference. I think they were, see if somebody out in the flat was blocking ahead of time downfield, I think. Maybe not, but that was the call.
Yeah, it would have been a good play, good yards gained there. And I'll tell you what, Cameron Fox, that time showing that he's got a nice looking arm. stepped into that throw, good velocity on it. He's been accurate too.
So we're back to the 50-yard line now for Cooper. And off to Davison, a good gap to run through, broke the first tackle and then was stacked up as Brecker made a good solid tackle at the 41. They'll gain about 9 on that play though.
Yeah, you see how low Brecker got on that hit too, but nice run. And that time Davison got a hole. You can see he's got good speed and a really nice job up front. That was really the first lane tonight that we've seen open up for the running backs. And Davison, good game.
3rd and 15 now for Cooper. And flag down.
Yeah, I think Colley in the backfield moved just a little bit early. You saw him twitch forward.
Now 3rd and longer as they going to be about 3rd and 20.
And you wonder here, if you could pick up 10 to 12 and you have 4th down, do you think about going for it?
Young coming back across to the left side of their formation here. Fox stepping up. Wants to throw. He's going to go deep downfield into the middle.
Oh, he got
it
him.
Is caught. Oh, Gurley reaching. He's going to be down just short of the end zone as it just got over the D-back's hands, and Gurley was there waiting.
What a play by Cameron Fox. He bought time. He stepped up. I thought he was going to take off and scramble, Jay, and he had great awareness knowing right where that line of scrimmage was. He feels the pocket collapse, steps up, looks like he's going to run, and look at him just buying time. Right before he crosses, too, he just throws it up, and that's what you got to do. You got to give your guys a chance to go make a play on the ball. And Gurley went up high, got it, big play.
Carmo taking the direct snap, and he will walk in for the touchdown. As a big turn of events there. Cooper facing 3rd and 20. They get the long gainer, 45 yards to Gurley, and then Carmo steps into the end zone for the Hawks.
Yeah, his 4th rushing touchdown, but it looked easy too. But set up by that big 3rd and 20 conversion there. What an answer for Cooper.
Kelvin Callan to attempt the extra point, and his kick is up, and it is good. So 9:21 to go in the second. Cooper on the board for the first time. They are now within 14-7.
Yeah, and there's that good push up front. Nice job by the big guys, and then helps too when you got a big guy like that, like Carmo, pounding that rock in there.
Frankie's Pizza of New Hope helping to present our live coverage tonight. As we said, 36th and Winnetka. Great place to go for pizza and a whole lot more. And we thank them for helping us out tonight here at the live coverage. So Cooper, a big turn of events back and forth there. The Armstrong thought they had recovered the onside kick. They rule against them, and then the Hawks push back a little bit. End up completing a 45-yard pass to set up Carmo's TD.
Yeah, remember 2 penalties. It was 3rd and 20, which is exactly what you want on defense. You put them in a for sure passing down the distance, and you're set for it. But that was just a great play by Fox. Again, buying the time and then just giving your guys a chance, trusting the teammate to go make a play. And that was a heck of a catch by Gurley, too.
And as you pointed out, I like the way as he stepped up, he still allowed himself the opportunity to pass by kind of flattening it out so that
and
it was
almost
not
like he
going
got
over
his
the
strength
line.
too, right? Like he gathered himself so he could put a good throw on it. That ball didn't hang. That had some juice on it, and it was accurate too.
And really in that spot, throwing it deep and maybe getting it intercepted
like
isn't the end of the world either. So
exactly.
not a bad gamble to take. This one's going to go out of bounds. Cooper trying to keep the ball down and not allow a long return, but it's going to get out of play. So a kick out of bounds penalty against the Hawks, and it will be Armstrong getting good field position at the 35-yard line, but the complexion of the game feels like it's changed a little bit now, as Cooper hadn't done a whole lot, and then all of a sudden they get that big play that sets up the TD.
Yep, it's such a game of momentum, and a game that feels like the Falcons have dominated for about 92% of the game. And just like that onside kick comes back with the penalty, the great starting field position for Cooper, and then they capitalize with that big pass.
So Franke and the offense back out there here. Gonna hand it off to Johnson, makes a nice cut, and then is wrapped up though. We do have a flag down right where you would expect to see a hold. And I think that is what we're gonna have against Armstrong. Yes, holding penalty against the Falcons. So push him back to the 25-yard line now. Be 1st and 20. Franke rolling to his left, gonna throw on the run for Brecker. This time not able to hang on.
Yeah, tough throw too, as a right-handed quarterback rolling to your left, and he put it right on the money. I mean, he put it right where Brecker could catch it. I don't wonder if Brecker didn't see Gurley, number 8, coming at him, and that kind of that sixth sense of knowing you're about to get contact. You see him kind of lift his head right at the end of that. That was a great throw, though. One you got to catch.
It's Willie Howard, the Hawks co-head coach, been their head coach for a long time now, transitioning. He's the athletic director too, and so turning some of the coaching over to Tony Patterson. There's a throw to Newbern over the middle. Newbern making a move, and he'll have the first down and more, and then pop pretty good on a strong physical tackle there by the Hawks Highland, but not until he gains all the way out over midfield.
What about the jump throw, Jay? Franke again rolling left, leaped in the air, somehow got enough on that ball, got it over the linebacker. There was some good depth there and just put it right on the money. That was great.
Hand off to Johnson, sweeping to the left, and a good push forward there. They'll get 7 or 8.
I'll tell you, Johnson does a great job. He's going laterally, and then when he decides to plant that foot and cut up the field, it is quick, and he gets there in a hurry. Turns the corner fast. He's got great speed.
Injured Hawk, unfortunately, here. Didn't quite catch the number. It starts with a 5 is all I could. It looks like we hear that it may be Marlo Oliver, number 50.
See
if we can see what happens. He gets
the nose
stacked
tackle
up
there,
here. And as the play comes back toward him there, ends up making a good chunk of that tackle, but somehow things didn't go well for him there on the way down. Gonna take a quick timeout, come back with more. It's 14-7, Armstrong leading Cooper here in the second quarter.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
My kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
So Oliver having to be helped off there. Looked like he's favoring not putting weight on that right leg.
Hopefully nothing serious there.
Donovan Williams coming in there in the middle at nose tackle. He's a fairly large young man as well. Here's a handoff going to Johnson, trying to get to the edge, and he gets around the corner. Johnson will make a cut, still on his feet, and he's going to be down at about the 1 yard line. Dynamic run there for Johnson. He'll pick up 42. Didn't quite get to Peter, but awful close.
Yeah, and he runs tough too. Watch him get to the outside. Great speed there. And then again, this little cut when he turns that corner, right there, he plants it, makes guys miss.
And it'll be Franke with the keeper, and he gets in for the touchdown for Armstrong. As their offenses continue to do some good things tonight. And Franke will finish that drive after the great run by Johnson set it up.
Well, and just a great drive in so many ways. Couple of great passes. Remember, we had a jump pass to Newburn across the middle for a big gain. After it was 1st and 20 there, a really nice run too by Johnson, just dynamic, and then Franke finishes it off. So great answer by the Falcons after the Cooper touchdown.
John's extra point is up, and it is good. So 7:49 to go here in the first half. And now 21-7 Armstrong, as we've had 3 touchdowns in just over 4 minutes. Again, Papa's Cafe of New Hope helping to bring us live coverage here tonight. We thank them very much. They open up at 7 o'clock each morning, and all from scratch food. Papa's Cafe on 42nd Avenue in New Hope. Thank them tonight.
Yeah, that young man's had a nice game. A couple of great throws. His throws have been really accurate down, and not short throws either. These are, 20, 25 yards down the field.
Yeah, and it's interesting because they obviously have the confidence to make those kind of play calls. There are some high school offenses where you could say, no, that's not realistic. No. Our guy can't throw that.
It might be a 1 in 10 chance, right? And tonight, I will say, even though he had that deep out to Brecker that was dropped, but he put it right on the money. Every throw he has made tonight has been spot on. And they weren't easy. And on that last drive alone, both of them were rolling to the left, too. He's got a strong arm.
John trying to drop this one in between lanes there, but fielded and brought up field by Chris Oates there, as he will be out. And we've talked about that in some earlier games. It seems as that this is something you're seeing more and more in high school football. It isn't just we're going to line up and kick it as far as we can. You got some strategy going into these kickoffs now, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But
yeah, but you're still giving up the ball at the 40 here, right? I get it if there's a guy you're really trying to stay away from, but I'd say kick it. Let's have great coverage. Let's see if we can hold them to the 20, 25. You kick it short, you don't get an onside kick. You still, even without a big return, you're getting the ball at the 40-yard line.
Handoff goes to Colley, getting around the left side. Colley down the sideline. Another great athlete and a great football player for the Hawks, mainly on D, but he can do it on offense as well, as he'll be down to the 33 of Armstrong.
Yeah, mainly on defense, 100 tackles on the year, so he's a great defender, and we're seeing both him and Carmo really have been great defenders all year. Now they're starting to get the ball on offense. You can see they're just good athletes and pretty good speed that time too by Colley.
$28-yard gain there for Colley. Gonna go to Carmo this time. And he is wrestled down there by Armstrong's Jack Bailey. Held him to about 2 on that play. Spotted at the 30 of the Falcons as Cooper trying to answer back here. They're down by 14, but the makings of a promising drive going after Colley's first down run.
Big run, yep.
Fox firing here. Talon Williams almost dropped it. He hangs on, but is quickly thrown down by Hamed Adem for Armstrong.
And not easy, too, to bend down like that and make sure you hold on to it as you're getting hit. But again, another nice, strong throw by Cameron Fox. When he's got time, you can see when he plants his feet, he's got a really good arm strength.
Yeah, and it feels like the 2 interceptions may be a little bit misleading. I mean, he's had some good throws tonight as well. Here's a handoff to Colley, and he is stacked up. Good surge defensively there by Armstrong. As down low was Cal Pilon.
Yeah, Terrell Prince too right there. It's going to set up a 4th and 2. You got to think here, down 2 scores, where this is on the field, that Cooper's going to be going for it here. Remember, we've seen Tony Colley and we've seen Emmanuel Carmo, big backs, be really physical. I wouldn't be surprised to see either one of them get the call here.
Hand off to Colley, bouncing it to the outside. Nice stiff arm, and he'll get it. Boy, that's one where the defenders were in pretty good position, but he was just too good to bring down.
Yeah, you get that big strong arm too, and you keep them at bay. They can't get to your legs or your waist. See right there, I mean, that's just great. You got to make someone miss. Sometimes that's what a run comes down to, is you got to make someone miss. And he did that, and you can see he's fired up too, picking up a big first down.
So 1st and 10 at the 19 now. Handoff going to Carmo here, and he gets to the edge. Carmo cutting it back, still on his feet. Reached the ball out late, and let's see, this looks like it might be a live ball. And the Falcons saying they have it. Haven't seen a signal yet.
You got to make a call.
The officials are huddling now. I think there's a kind of a 2-part discussion. Is he down already? It's going to be a touchback, a recovery by Armstrong in the end zone.
I'll tell you what, Carmo, I thought he was going to be down at about the 8. He kept fighting. He bowled his way through it. You can't fault the effort. I mean, just tremendous effort. And to your point, the 2 questions are, one, did he fumble it before he was down, and where was he in regards to the end zone?
This is one of those rare cases where if you're Cooper, I think you're trying to plead that he was already out of bounds or down.
But look at those. Look at him just drive. He spins. He gets through. No, the question is out of bounds. He was definitely short of the end zone. And as a coach, I don't know how you fault that, right? I mean, you love the effort that the guy's giving you, trying to fight for that end zone. Yeah, I think that discussion was he out of bounds before that ball came loose, and it certainly was close.
So Armstrong will dodge a bullet there. They get it at the 20 on the touchback, recovered it in the end zone. Kroenke giving it off to Johnson, spinning through a tackle, stays on his feet, and then finally tripped up out. I thought he was down 2 different times on that play, and he kept going, and he's out to the 40.
The last 2 runs we've seen, first that one by Carmo and that one by Johnson, just great athletes refusing to go down, especially after first contact. Watch him run into a defender right here. I mean, it looks like he's down. He just gets those legs going, and he can go from 0 to fast in a hurry, too, in about a step or 2.
So first down at the 40. You go right back to him. Johnson this time tripped over his blocker, and he'll be down at the line of scrimmage there.
And that time, again, you could see that plant, that cut, when he's going lateral to up the field. Gets it so quick, but a nice job. I couldn't tell who that was for Cooper, but kind of closed it down, tripped him up a little bit.
We'll be down probably under 4 minutes to go in the quarter when this ball is snapped in. Armstrong leading at 21-7 after forcing the 3rd turnover of the night against Cooper now. Little option to the right. Franke runs over his own guy and then is stood up. Whew. They actually lifted him up.
Jalen Hayes
to hang on to the ball there.
Looked like he jumped and then he got lifted off the ground. Able to get some positive yards out of it, but not much. And they had the option set up, and he keeps it.
You see, he pushed his own guy out of the way and then tried to jump over him, which maybe wasn't the thing to do there, as ultimately as Hayes was waiting for him.
Cooper's got some good tacklers. They're good linebackers.
Oops, an early start there out on the right side by Isaiah Page. We'll push him back 5.
Yeah, lined up against that guy. Wanted to get as early of a start as you can. Remember, both teams tonight, Cooper's big pass play came on 3rd and 20, and we've seen Armstrong be backed up as well and able to overcome it with some really good timely passes.
Make it 3rd and 12 now for Franke and the Armstrong offense. Good protection, throwing deep down the middle for Brecker, and he's got it. Brecker down to the 15-yard line. 48-yard gain there, another well-thrown ball.
Yeah, just a great pass. And I think you got to give the offensive line credit too. He's had time to throw, able to set your feet and allow your receivers to get that depth and get behind the defense, and just really good balls tonight.
Ball is snapped way back, and now a flag is down. I admit I was caught watching that replay and didn't exactly see what happened. All of a sudden the ball was rolling around way back behind the line of scrimmage. See what the call is going to be here.
Which is better than losing 20-something yards.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to lose all that yardage that they're going to be. Yeah, they snapped it when nobody was ready.
Yeah, the whistle should have been blown right on the spot. They didn't have enough guys on the. No one was set up and ready.
They will call a timeout. They are very fortunate to get a 5-yard penalty rather than losing all that yardage.
Yeah.
And Franke was as caught off guard as you and I were. All of a sudden the ball's flying by him. He wasn't even looking.
Well, and you could tell he wasn't making a cadence either. I wonder what caused the ball to get snapped there. But yeah, losing 5 yards on a false start is much better than what could have happened.
So look at this section, and I'm going to have to take another shot. We've got too many classes if you only have 5 teams in a section. That's used to mean something to get to a section final, and this year, not really. But not to take away from this great matchup, but there's too many sections that are cakewalks and not enough teams in them. And see, the semifinals were both pretty lopsided. Cooper had some trouble with Washburn a little bit, but
ended up pulling away and putting up quite a bit of points too.
A 1st and 15. Now we get another flag down. This one's going to be, let's see, against Armstrong again. Well, not a pretty sequence here after that great long pass downfield. It was interesting, Ryan, too, getting back to that completion to Brecker. You don't love giving that play up, but I thought it was really smart by the Cooper guy to realize that he didn't have a play on the ball, and I better just at least tackle him.
Yeah, instead of diving and missing and giving up a touchdown. Yep, you're absolutely right.
And off going to Johnson. Nowhere to go here as Allen and then Hayes coming in to take him down, and that'll be a loss on the play as Armstrong going backward at the moment. First the penalties and then that loss. Boy, that same play had worked a couple times earlier in this quarter.
What's really impressive tonight, and it's about the third or fourth time tonight where I've seen Manny Allen coming in from the weak side, and he just runs that play down. Really impressive.
Franke straight drop again, has plenty of time, throwing deep downfield, just a little underthrown for Freeman. Young getting back there. He had a step, but that was one of the few times where we've seen Franke be a little short with the ball.
Yeah, Fitz Freeman, good height, 6'6", had his guy beat. That's one where you want to miss long and high. That time a little inside, a little bit low. Freeman tried to make the adjustment on the ball and almost got it. You know, probably could have been caught too. I mean, it wasn't that poorly thrown. But as a big guy like that, that's hard as your momentum's carrying you through.
Be a 3rd and 22. Johnson going in motion. Franke's going to step up and try and run, but no chance to get by Carmo as he will wrap him up short of the line of scrimmage. And now a little bit of decision time here for Jack Negan and the Armstrong crew. They've got 4th and a very long way to go, although you're also, and it's going to be Cooper actually taking a timeout here. Probably a smart thing for them. They give them a little bit of time getting the ball back, presumably here. I mean, you've got a long distance to go, but you're too close really to think about punting, and probably, and I would say definitely too long to think field goal too. So you're in that in-between spot where you probably might as well go for it, and it looks like that will be what they at least are going to show. And we did see Franke punt the ball earlier too. But unless you can really get the ball out of bounds inside the 5 or something, you're not doing yourself all that much favor by punting either. Got a good receiving core too that can go up and get the ball. I mean, really, Brecker and Newbern are excellent receivers. Freeman doesn't have as much experience, but he's got good size, and even Kempo, we saw a long gainer for him as he's in the slot now, kind of a tight end / receiver. So here we go with 4th down and long. Franke, a deep drop, now running out of time. He'll throw on the run, and it is incomplete as he tried to go to Kempo. Well defended by Cooper, and they will take over on downs here. Again, I don't think a bad decision at all, though, to go for that. If you're Armstrong, you might get a play out of it. If not, weren't going to gain a lot by punting the ball there anyway. See what Cooper can do late in the quarter. They're down 14. Minute 12 remaining. They do only have 1 timeout now left. They had a real nice, I was going to say 2-minute drive, but it was actually less than that in their win against Washburn right before halftime last week. But I think this may be a little bit more formidable defense too. Fox going to heave it up long for Williams down the sideline. Did he get his foot in? Let's see. Yes, it looks like he did. It'll be at the Armstrong 49. Wow, great throw and catch there. Pickup of 23 as Fox getting it out there for Williams. And yeah, looks like he maybe did get, obviously only need 1 foot in. And Armstrong bench saying no, but official had a pretty good look at it, and he looks like he did get that foot in. So great way to start the drive too. You get out of bounds, you get a long gainer, you don't waste any time. So they're in a spot where they can make something happen. Fox gonna step up here, and he is sacked by College. They're going to go back to the line here, not use that timeout as we're under 50 seconds to go. Well, that play certainly doesn't help Cooper's cause in terms of time. 2nd and 12. Fox will zip it out there. It pounces high in the air off of Gurley, And it will drop incomplete. Falcons couldn't quite get there. And now it'll be 3rd down and long with 37 seconds left.
Hi, Mom.
See if anything changes here for Cooper in terms of being in full-out attack mode. You don't really want to give Armstrong the ball back in too great a field position either, but you still want to be aggressive since you're the team down by 14. Flag down, and then one of the receivers started early for Cooper. And so they'll move back 5 more. A fairly penalty-filled first half here. 6 on Armstrong accepted and 4 against Cooper. I think they're going to put the time back on the clock there. That play officially never happened, so should be back to 37 on the clock. Armstrong got a 5-man umbrella back deep. Obviously, they don't want to give up anything over their head. Fox throwing and got the completion to Williams. Not enough for the first down, but it'll be down to the 44. Got about a dozen there. So it will leave them with 4th down and about 5 or 6 here. 32 seconds to go. Good play though to get about half of what they needed and then give themselves a shot here on 4th. And Cooper's going to now use their last timeout. Too important a play to, obviously to a certain extent you'd rather save it, but if you don't get it here, it doesn't matter. You won't have the ball anymore. So got to make sure they get a play that they want. And then I think they got to also be talking about, if we get a completion on the field of play, got to get up and, and get enough for the first down, obviously. Got to get up and spike it. Ryan will be hearing from the coaches at halftime as well here as Armstrong trying to hang on to this 21-7 lead late in the second quarter. Cooper facing a 4th and 5 from the Armstrong 44. 3 receivers split out right and 1 to the left here for Fox and the Hawks. Fox rolling to his right. Now he's going to tuck it, and he will have enough for the first down and dances out of bounds. So not a bad decision there by any means, as he'll get it down to the 35-yard line. Gain of 9 and a first down for Cameron Fox. Got receivers all out in the pattern drawing the defenders away, so there was room to run once he got to the edge here. Kind of a little option thing. I think they certainly intended to throw, but once he saw there was room, and take off and go. Time certainly a factor though. They've got 25 seconds to go and no timeouts left. And they're at the 35 of Armstrong. Oh, the snap gets away and Fox will have to pick it up and try and run. And now he's going to heave it up. Couple guys out there, the completion, and they'll be down inside the 5-yard line. Armstrong looking around, wondering if there was any ineligible receiver downfield, but I do not see a flag, and Cooper will get the completion. Holy cow, Fox making a play out of nothing here as he goes back, and I was thinking he was going to be, sacked or at the very least just have to throw it away, and instead Carmel goes up and gets it. And they will spike it here. 2 seconds remaining. Cooper coaches now. I think this is a discussion more about clock. So they will get another snap out of it, it looks like here, but it'll probably only be one more, obviously, with 2 seconds, barring a penalty here. It'll be second down and goal from the 2. Huge play down the stretch as Fox and a casting one up, and Carmo got it. Now Armstrong's going to use a timeout here. I think they wanted to see what Cooper was going to come out in, and you're close enough here that it certainly wouldn't be a huge surprise to see them try and run this in either. Obviously, if you don't get it, you're done in terms of the time for the half, but they've certainly got the possibility of trying to run the ball in as well, and I think that was what Armstrong was maybe trying to feel out a little bit by seeing what kind of alignment they came out in, and then they used that timeout to try and get a stop. We've seen some twists and turns in this game, to say the least here, as Cooper moving the ball upfield nicely, then had a snap get away, and it looked like Fox was going to be brought down for little or no gain, and instead he heaved the ball up deep downfield, and Carmo went and got it, almost got into the end zone. So here we go now, second down and goal. They come out in the power look with Carmo at quarterback, and Armstrong's going to use another timeout, as Cooper had a different look that time, and it looked like they were just going to try and muscle it in. And the cat and mouse game goes back and forth here. We'll see if Cooper will come back out in that same formation and just look to power it in with Carmo. We've seen a lot of big plays in this half, but fair to say this final one might be as big as any. I mean, it's a huge difference if Armstrong can go in still up 2 scores, or if Cooper can cut it to a touchdown deficit here. Carmo as the quarterback, although a more spread formation. Now they shift back into that power look. Carmo is going to get there for the touchdown on the final play of the half. Had some good blocks out front. Little disguise there for Cooper as they set up in a formation that looked like they were going to spread things out a little more, and then motioned everybody back into that power look. And Carmo, behind a block from Colley, able to get in. Right there on the edge, Colley sealed it, and good push up front as well. And Kellen will come in to attempt the extra point here. A little bit of a high snap, but Fox gets it down. The extra point kick is up, and it is good. And so with no time on the clock, Cooper coming through with a big touchdown, and they will pull to within 21-14 at halftime of this one, and an amazing ending to that first half. It seemed as though they were going to run out of time perhaps, but got that big completion downfield from Fox to Carmo, and then even then it was still, the seconds are ticking down. They did a good job spiking the ball, and then Emmanuel Carmo able to push it in on that run, and certainly a great finish for that one for Cooper as they get a little momentum back by scoring late in the second quarter to pull within 21-14 here at halftime. And let's go down now to field level with Ryan and Coach Patterson.
Coach, I mean, what a response there right before half. What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, that was big to score right there. They had the momentum for a little bit, and our guys made some big plays, and we got that score before the half, so we can take that momentum going into the second half.
I've been so impressed with your quarterback. I mean, balls on the ground, picking it up, having the wherewithal to still not go beyond the line of scrimmage, making throws. He's been awesome tonight.
Yeah, Cam's been awesome all year. We just need to finish the game. I told him, you know, he'll be a leader today, lead us to victory, and so we still got another half. We're down, so we got to come out and, you know, play Cooper football.
Last question. Offensively, you got some momentum. Defensively, what do you have to do to get off the field?
I think we got to tighten up a little bit. We're kind of outnumbered on some of those plays. You know, they're a great team, but I will make some second half adjustments.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. Appreciate it.
I taught for 20 years, but I started forgetting my lectures. Eventually, he had to quit. My therapist recommended we go to the doctor. The early Alzheimer's diagnosis allowed us to take control of the situation. He's been such a positive force and so loving. Thank you. You're welcome.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Welcome back here. As expected, a pretty good crowd on hand here tonight for this playoff matchup between the two Robbinsdale District 281 rivals. Armstrong leading Cooper by a score of 21-14, and helping us out again with our live coverage here tonight, a couple of fine restaurants. Frankie's Pizza, New Hope, 36th and Winnetka, Chicago-style pizza, and much more. And also Papa's Cafe of New Hope, great made-from-scratch food. They are on 42nd Avenue and open at 7 o'clock every morning. And also want to make mention, too, of District 281 helping us to bring live coverage of tonight's football game as well.
And it's been a good one, hasn't it?
Yeah, very eventful first half.
Their money's worth tonight.
Check out some of these highlights from the opening half. And it was kind of like right from the get-go, we had some big plays made all the way along, which started with this kickoff.
First play of the game.
Yeah, Young for Cooper. And as Ryan said at the time, you're kind of thinking, no, that's too far to go across.
Just go north and south, right? And he ends up getting at great speed. And
he gets in down to the 10, but then they, as Kemple was able to run him down, but then they went backward a little bit and then throw the ball up into the end zone, and instead it's an interception grabbed there by Hattin for Armstrong. And then they quickly answered by coming back upfield and getting a score. Frankie throwing a strike there.
That was on 3rd and long, too, on that first drive.
And then he will roll to the right here and connecting with Kemple, and he breaks a couple of tackles. Didn't have quite enough wheels to get all the way, but Gurley rides him down, and then they eventually do score on the drive as Johnson runs it in from 5. And it was 7-0 Falcons. Then a tip pass here. The ball deflected. Brecker with the interception for Armstrong. And that one
didn't quite get in there, but it led to this, which is a great throw.
Yeah,
great catch.
They changed ends for the second quarter, and that was actually the first play of the quarter.
Yeah. And it felt like Armstrong might pull away from this and make this a blowout. I thought this was maybe the play of the game. That was 4th and 20. Cooper really struggling offensively, and just a brilliant job by Cameron Fox. Knowing where he is on the line of scrimmage, throwing it down, and it set up that he's an animal on every facet of the game.
First catch there by Gurley, and then taken in by Carmo. And then here's Johnson breaking free as he's had a couple of nice runs. Again, doesn't quite get to the end zone.
We
here,
had a lot of those tonight, haven't we? Big plays that just get down to like that 1 or 2 yard line, and it set up the Frankie run up the middle. At this point, 21-7. Armstrong really, I thought, dominated the majority of that first half, but Cooper just kept fighting.
Good throw to Williams there to start the drive. This one, the ball gets away. Fox running up, dancing around the line of scrimmage there, got it downfield to Carmo, and then he goes down at the 2. And after they spiked it, they had one more play to go, only 2 seconds, and Carmo runs it in.
Direct snap to him. You don't allow that push at all, and he's just been such a physical runner anytime he's run the football and finds the end zone. That was a great response by the Hawks.
You look at the numbers here, a little bit better rushing certainly for Armstrong and actually through the air as well, but Cooper making some big plays in the passing game. And penalties have been a little bit of a problem for both, but you see the 3 turnovers by Cooper, a couple of interceptions and a fumble lost, and Armstrong scored on 2 of those. So if you're looking at keys to the game, that might be right up there among any of those stats.
Well, and you think too, Jay, you go back to that first kickoff return. If you punch that in, you're 7-0 on the road, changes the whole dynamic. Instead, Armstrong gets that pick, marches down and scores. But I'll tell you, Cooper answering before halftime, I think was really, really big.
So anybody's ball game here. Falcons up by 7. We'll take a timeout and come back with more football here from Armstrong High School. Section 5 5A championship on the line here on CCX.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Coach Armstrong Cooper on the line to go to the state tournament. Did you expect anything different?
No, we've kind of figured this after the first game, right? 2 good football teams.
Yeah. Well, what do you have to do in the second half to close this out?
Quit the mental mistakes, and the big plays are hurting us.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. All right, back to you, Jay.
Thanks, Ryan, and thanks to Coach Negan and Coach Patterson for taking a moment with us as well here as we get set for this second half of football. 21-14 Falcons. We'll be back here to Armstrong in just a moment. We'll see who's headed to the state tournament next.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
My kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
Welcome back here to Armstrong. Falcons will get the football to begin the second half as they deferred the choice after winning the toss to start the game. Kelvin Callan will kick it off here for Cooper.
And you know Armstrong wants the ball, right? After giving that touchdown up right before the half like that, kind of losing all the momentum. They've been pretty successful offensively. Now you get the ball to start. This is where you got to kind of maintain that 2-score lead. You want to keep Cooper kind of on their toes a little bit.
Punch toward the sideline, and this one will get out of bounds and Armstrong will get it at the 35.
Yeah, and I just don't understand that unless there's, someone from Armstrong that you're fearing a kickoff return every time. You give a pretty hot offense the ball at the 40-yard line. You want to try to limit a good offense every way you can. If you can get them back to the 20, 25, make them go further. Who knows what that means, but actually the ball in the 35, excuse me. I thought, the more I thought at halftime and talking to the coaches, I thought both quarterbacks were really good in their own right, a little differently, but man, they made some big plays for their teams.
Franke going to throw it on first down, complete to Brecker, trying to get a block there on the edge as he's dragged out of bounds, or actually brought down in the field of play, but it'll be enough for a first down as he gets 10 out of it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what was big on that is Fitz Freeman, number 11, was downfield and he was trying to block for Brecker, and the defender kind of moved and he went to grab him and he let go, and it's a play that you see a lot of wide receivers, they don't do that, and they end up calling for a hold. That was a smart play to get positive yards there.
Johnson wrapped up immediately and dropped. You can kind of tell that Cooper was really set to try and face the challenge of Johnson. Now, he's had some good runs along the way. He ended up with 101 yards in that first half, but they've also had quite a few plays like that where they got to him early.
Yep.
Abel Nason making that stop for a very short loss.
I'll tell you, big Donovan Williams, since he's been in the game, big number 79, you see him, right? He's a nose guard, clogging up 2 or 3 of those offensive linemen. You allow those really good linebackers to run free to the ball.
Johnson this time has a gap to run through and keeps on going down the sideline. Just after we talked about Cooper defending well, they give up a long touchdown here.
And that's why you keep going to it. He's got that ability. Again, coming into the game, 13 rushing touchdowns. He is no stranger to the end zone. And Jay, Johnson had a great play. He got to the outside, great speed. Seth Newbern down the field, got in front of 2 different Cooper defenders. So you talk about being a team working together in football. That was just beautifully blocked down the field too. Seth Newbern gets a big assist, freeing his teammate there. And Johnson, great speed.
56-yard run for Johnson for the touchdown. Weisjohn's kick, he didn't hit it real strong, but he was able to get it through. So 10:56 to go in the third, 28-14 Falcons.
Yeah, and exactly the kind of answer you wanted to see. And watch this cut, he gets to the outside there, and you can see just barely in your screen, Newbern, he gets in front of 2 different defenders, and he didn't manhandle them, but he got in their way where they couldn't catch him. You see one block right there, and then he goes on and gets a second guy. Those were critical plays. And Johnson takes care of the rest.
Papa's Cafe of New Hope helping to present live coverage of tonight's contest, and encourage you to visit them on 42nd Avenue. Made from scratch, great food, open at 7 o'clock every morning. So 28-14, we had Cooper end the first half with a big sequence of plays to pull within 7, and Armstrong quickly answers to start the third.
Well, Coach Nagin talked at halftime. You can't do anything about the pass. He ended the half, but you knew he was going to have his team fired up, ready to answer and to respond. And really tonight, offensively, Armstrong's been able to get whatever they want. They've thrown the ball, they've ran the ball, and exactly the kind of response you want. I always think, too, when you're up 2 scores, it gives your defense that just a little bit of cushion and that comfort, that confidence, exactly how you want them to respond. By the way, I'm getting pizza tonight, and I'm going to made-from-scratch breakfast tomorrow at 7 in the morning, just to let you guys know.
Ooh, Eastjohn drills that one in pretty good hands to catch that football for the Hawks. Ingram hanging on there, and a ball that I think they were attempting to blast past him there. And so they will get excellent field position. That one's a pretty hot one to handle there, but he got it done.
Yeah, and you secretly, you want guys like that who maybe don't handle it often to handle that, right? Because that's where you get the fumbles and the mistakes. But that was Ingram, great job just getting down on it too and securing it. And Cooper's going to get great starting position too.
They'll have it at their 45, Cameron Fox and crew.
He was so impressive. The way he picked up that bad snap, still made that great play. He was tremendous.
Floating it out to Young. Pushed out by Newbern. Let's see where they're going to spot this. Looks like he'll gain about 9 on the play.
Yeah, and I like that too. It's an easy throw. You get your quarterback into a rhythm, and you get the ball in the hands of a playmaker. Young, we saw with those great kickoff returns early in the game. That time, getting a catch and showing that speed.
First reception for him, although, as Ryan said, been a big part of the game on kick returns. And often they will get the first down with ease here. As Colley will gain it Not bad when you got 2nd and 1 and you pick up about 4 or 5. They easily blasted enough room for him there.
Carmel and Colley are very similar, aren't they? They're kind of both built the same. They're both really good defensively, and they both have really come on strong, you know, in the last few weeks in carrying the football. You can tell when the game's on the line, one of those two probably going to get the carry.
Ooh, this time it was dropped on the exchange, and then Carmo stacked up and brought down Armstrong. A lot of bodies getting there. Avery Oseth kind of finishing it, but again, the exchange getting back to maybe a guy who hasn't always been in the backfield. He and Fox weren't quite on the same page on that handoff.
Yeah, and that timing throws it up. Your line gets thrown up, and you get that push, and you can see you got a gang tackle anytime Carmo's carrying the ball. You got to have 3 or 4 tacklers on him. Armstrong, good job on that one.
Fox, time to throw, has a man out there, and Young able to haul it in despite the hit by Hattin. Nice grab there down to about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, Young only a sophomore, but you can see he's got a ton of skill, good speed, ran a really nice route right up the seam, and a good throw. And that's a hard throw. You got to get it over the linebackers, but it can't hang in the air too long where the safeties can come and make a play on it. He just put it perfectly. And you know you're about to take a hit and hang on to that football. That was a big-time play.
And off to Carmo, getting to the edge here. Carmo brought down on a nice tackle, but another good gainer there for the Hawks. Hattin on the stop. They've done a pretty good job sealing the edge on a couple of those runs.
Yeah, and Carmo, as big as he is, he's shifty. You see that footwork, able to elude defenders, and he lowered that shoulder to finish that runoff, and you're right, that was a great tackle too. But still, you pick up 9 yards on first down.
Colley in the backfield now with Fox on 2nd and a yard. Fox on the keeper here, spinning away, and it looks like he'll have enough for the first down, be 1st and goal at about the 5.
Yeah, Fox not a very big guy, but you can see he finished that run physically too, moved that pile. Again, another nice response here by the Cooper offense. And doing it a variety of ways, doing it through the air, doing it with different running backs. We've seen Young have his first 2 receptions of the night. That time Fox, who hasn't kept the ball much, has not run the football much, picks up the first down. Good horsepower in the backfield there next to Fox.
And off to Carmo. This time they get to him early. Able to get to stop Prince with the first hit, and then got help as well. And maybe a minimal gain, maybe a yard, but
I like what Prince did too, Jay. He went right for his legs. He got him low and he held on. And when you got a powerful running back, if you tackle him up high, up in the waist or the shoulder pads, more often than not, they're going to be able to keep going and you're not going to wrap them up. But if you can get their legs, that's where that source of that power comes from. You hold on, and then good team defense there.
Got both Carmo and Colley now in the backfield with Fox. Back to Carmo, and again he's hit early. This time bounced off it, but they still stack him up for a very short gain.
Yeah, Jack Bailey got good push there in the backfield. I think that's the key with both Carmo and Colley. If they get that momentum going, they're going to probably carry you forward. But if you can get them before that starts, and then you have to have your teammate, you have to have that good team tackling.
3rd down, goal to go, no gain on that last one. So Carmo now will be in the quarterback slot here, if you will, the Wildcat look. No, I'm sorry, it is Fox. Oh, and the ball's loose, and Armstrong's got it. Bailey on the recovery. He is down, but they will have the football as Cooper, a crucial turnover there deep in Armstrong territory.
Yeah, and it almost looked like Carmo wasn't expecting to get that football. Like maybe he thought it was a play fake, and Fox actually stuck it in there. Either way, bots the snail, the delivery there, and Armstrong again gives up yardage, but able to get the stop. Yeah, you can see Carmo just didn't think he was supposed to have the ball. He almost was surprised. And a big stop here by the Falcons defense.
And Bailey, let's see if Yeah, he's clearly down, on the ground when he got up and ran, but correct call, he was down. But Armstrong, a key stop there with the help of Cooper. Now it's Johnson, Colley wrapping him up and trying to rip the ball out if he could too. But Johnson hanging on, that's even more important than getting yards when you're in this spot on the field and this score.
Well, the two things that can turn this game in a hurry, one is the fumble, turnovers. The other is penalties, right? You're having success moving the ball. You get a couple of hold-ins. You set up that third and really long. So penalties, you want to be crisp, clean, and also turnovers. You do not want to turn the ball over.
Johnson cutting it back, broke a tackle, and another nice cut. Thrown down, but not until he's out over the 20, and will have easily enough for the first down.
And for guys 175 pounds, again, not that big. He's pretty powerful. You can see he makes guys miss. If you're going to arm tackle him, he's going to go through that.
And I think part of the reason for that, Ryan, is he seems like his legs are always turning.
Yeah, he's moving. Yep, and that's where that power comes from.
So great for Armstrong to get a first down there and move the ball out, give himself a little breathing room out to the 21. Going to go right back to Johnson here, ran into his own man. And then thumped pretty good by Colley, but he will gain yardage out over the 25.
Yeah, and a nice job of turning no gain or a loss of a yard into positive yards, still picking up 4 yards there.
2nd down and 6 here for Armstrong, and you'd take it any way you can get it if you're Armstrong, but I think for them right now, a long drive would actually do wonders for them here if they could chew
a sustained
up a lot
drive,
of this
right?
quarter,
You take off 4 or 5 minutes of clock, you run the play clock down, absolutely.
Here's Johnson again. And wrapped up there, but he'll be out over the 30, just short of the first down.
And sometimes, Jay, that's even more demoralizing than a quick strike touchdown, right? When a team runs on you, doesn't do anything fancy, and they just continue to convert first down after first down, that can weigh on your defense. It can tire you out. And you got to remember, too, Cooper has a lot of guys.
Quarterback sneak here, but it was a false start. Armstrong, I think they weren't set. They tried to go quick out of the huddle and come up, but it didn't pay off. And they will be penalized 5 there.
And that's where, as a quarterback, Franke, who's really got a good presence around him, you got to take that split second and look, make sure everyone's set.
This is Williams, their second nose guard to be injured tonight, it looks like, for Cooper. Yeah, you're right. I think, you know, your offensive coordinator will tell the quarterback that's on you. If you know, if you're calling for the snap when somebody's in motion and they're not set, or you're not set at the line of scrimmage yet, that's your job as
that's your situational awareness, where you have to know where everybody on the football field is. It's one of those where you have to know what all 11 are doing, where they're supposed to be. That's why quarterback's usually one of the smartest guys that you have on your team. Not always, but usually.
We'll take a little break here. Let's hope Donovan Williams is all right. We'll come back with more here from Armstrong. 28-14 Falcons. Welcome back. 3rd and 6 after the injury to Donovan Williams of Cooper. Hoskins, the offensive lineman, coming in on the D-line to replace him.
And keep in mind, too, Cooper, a lot of guys going both ways, too, right? So you always think about fatigue and conditioning.
Play action, complete to Brecker. Breaks through a tackle. Gideon Brecker down the sideline. And he'll be brought down around the 30. And a big play there for Armstrong.
Yeah, where he
43-yard pickup.
Where he caught it, Jay, he was short of that first down. It looked like there was 2 or 3 Cooper defenders right there, and somehow he split them, and he's got really good speed. Once he gets to that open field, able to break away and turn that into a huge gain. That ball short. You see 2 defenders right there. That's where you just got to make that tackle and get off the field. He splits it. Turns it into a big one.
Johnson wrapped up, brought down after a gain of 1.5 yards or 2 there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Manny Allen, 26, right there in our screen. He's had a really nice game tonight on defense. He's been all over the field coming in. Doesn't matter if he's weak side, strong side. He's made a ton of tackles on Johnson.
Considering where we're at in the game and the score and everything, this kind of feels like a must-stop for Cooper here. Down by 2 touchdowns. Johnson wrapped up there by Hoskins.
I don't wonder, too, Jay, if Frankie is setting up a keeper out of that. We saw him run in the game we did a couple weeks ago, and obviously that was without Johnson in the game, but he's a capable runner. You see Cooper really colliding and collapsing the defense on Johnson.
Now it's Armstrong's turn to have an injury here. Kind of looks like we might be thinking cramps, though, the way they're stretching that leg out.
Anytime you see that stretching, you're relieved because hopefully it's nothing serious and it's just a painful minute or 2, and then they're usually better.
It's Terrell Prince who's down there. And
he's had a nice game tonight, too. Called his name a few times on defense.
And it obviously isn't only those hot August nights where you can cramp up a little bit, too.
It's funny you say that because I was just about to allude to that. These colder nights are actually worse for cramps because your muscles tighten up so much and you don't feel as thirsty, so you don't drink as much. So it's kind of the same conditions. Those muscles are tight and you're dehydrated. You're not getting enough water inside. It's a good reminder for athletes of all levels. Drink, drink, drink.
Prince trying to get to his feet now, and he's gonna get the feeling he's thinking, I've wasted enough time here. I'm gonna get off the field one way or the other here.
Teammates might give him some grief about looking like a chicken dance or something coming off the field there. He made it. Now that's the outfit.
It's still Halloween week, so
we need a CCX Panda Bear outfit that we can start broadcasting these games in.
So a 3rd down and a long 6 here for Armstrong. Frankie rolling to his left, throwing on the run, completing it to Kemple, and he will be brought down at around the 16-yard line and another 1st down. Boy, you just feel like they can call a lot of different things and they'll be able to execute them.
Well, when you got a quarterback you trust, you can call anything you want. And that time, again, rolling left, he threw it into traffic, and he just put it right on the money. Kemple's had a couple of really big catches here tonight. Nice big target. Only a sophomore, too. And you see Armstrong, remember, early in the game playing with pace, right? They were on the line of scrimmage. They were up and ready. Now definitely taking their time, knowing with 2 scores, maybe here about to go up 3 scores. That the clock is your friend. You want to get this down to that play clock down to below 5.
Oops, receiver out top. Recker started way early there. He was downfield as they brought tight end in motion. Now the mental mistakes was something Jack mentioned at halftime, and they can't be happy with the number of penalties they've committed.
It's one of those things when you do these, you might overcome them tonight, right, or this drive, but at some point, if you're going to make a deep playoff run and a deep state tournament run, you can't afford to keep putting yourself 5 yards back, 5 yards back. At some point, it's going to
has been running this whole time.
Catch up.
They didn't catch that. Frankie keeping it. Took a hit there.
Yeah, and that's just something we haven't seen a lot tonight that I think is a big part of their offense, and he's very capable. He's got good speed, and he's a tough runner. He's not a quarterback that's going to dive or slide or get out of bounds. He will take contact and give contact.
Be 2nd and 9. He picked up 6 on that play after the penalty. Put him at 1st and 15. Frankie directing traffic here, including telling his older brother where to get to there. And there again, we talked about with Carmo and Colley too, when you have guys who mainly play D, and then come in on offense. And here's the throw out to Dayton Franke, trying to run somebody over there. And Hayes brought him down as he threw the forearm shiver at the next defender.
And he's fired up about it. He's like, thank you, brother. You finally threw it to me. Told you I could make a play. And a great play call. Again, you talked about just kind of the diversity of their offense. Power runs, we've seen some sprint outs, we've seen rollouts, we've seen deep passes. That time, just a little, they put him in as a fullback. He kind of just leaked out to the flat there after a play action. Really nice design.
What exactly they got? They may be able to run this down to the end of the quarter, I think, is what they're hoping. And yeah, they won't need to snap it again here. So the third quarter comes to an end. Our score after 3 is Armstrong at 28, Cooper 14. The fourth quarter is up next here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
(28-14) Armstrong. As you see the score by quarter, they each scored 14 in the second, but Armstrong getting a touchdown in the first and third, and then trying to punch it in here. They'll have a 3rd down and 1 to start the fourth quarter, deep in Cooper territory at about the 8.
Well, and remember too that we had a fumble, and remember earlier in the game too there was a fumble. You know, I believe it was when Carmel was reaching for the end zone, fumbled. So 2 fumbles within the 5-yard line for Cooper. Otherwise, this could be a very different ball game.
Franke on the keeper. Down inside the 5 to about the 2.
You can see it just adds a little bit of twist. You see a lot of white jerseys colliding on Johnson, and rightfully so. He's gotten the majority of the carries tonight. And just having that threat of Franke keeping it just adds a little bit of a mix in it.
Another interior lineman injury for Cooper. 3rd time we've seen that tonight. So a lot of traffic and a lot of big bodies bouncing around inside there. And
yeah, the scariest part when you're in that middle of that pack is it's usually not the collisions, it's getting rolled up on. Another lineman getting rolled up behind you, or a ball carrier, or whatever it might be, and that's where your leg can be at such vulnerable positions.
It is Hoskins who is injured, so that's the 3rd different nose guard to be down on the field, unfortunately, for the Hawks tonight.
I think if I'm on the sideline and they ask me to go play nose guard, not tonight.
Take a timeout here, and let's hope Jeremiah will be all right. We'll come back here. Armstrong trying to punch it in. They lead 28-14.
My kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
I taught for 20 years, but I started forgetting my lectures. Eventually, he had to quit. My therapist recommended we go to the doctor. The early Alzheimer's diagnosis allowed us to take control of the situation. He's been such a positive force and so loving. Thank you. You're welcome.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
And we're back to action here as Hoskins makes his way to the sideline. Armstrong. Franke handing off to Johnson, keeps the legs moving, and he will get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, you saw those legs moving. Good contact. And Dayton Franke, too, out in front of him, blocking, moving jerseys. And a good response here by Armstrong.
Third TD of the night for Johnson. And a big drive for them. Not only to stretch the lead, but just, you keep the ball away from Cooper for a while, too, kind of, just keep that momentum.
Well, it was exactly what we talked about at the beginning of that drive, right? Nothing huge. I mean, they got a big pass play there, but they took 3-4 minutes off the clock and just nothing fancy. Only difference that time we saw a little bit more Franke carrying the ball, but just good balance, good mix and match here tonight. Not only run and pass, but how they've ran the ball too.
Well, and we talked about it a couple times throughout the night, but I think another good time to bring in how well their offensive line is played too, because
absolutely.
Some of these play calls wouldn't happen unless you were blocking it well, and some of the pass plays that have been a little longer developing.
He's had time, and that's, we've seen it from every level. We remember the Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes a couple years ago against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was under duress, and he didn't look like the greatest quarterback of all time. Tonight, Franke, you're right, he's had all the time in the world, and he's been extremely accurate with the football too, but just a total team effort tonight by Armstrong. Remember, this game was 20-14 the first time they played, and here tonight, Armstrong putting up 35 points here at the beginning of the fourth quarter. So offensively, they've really had a nice game plan.
Saw the moment ago, too, Frankie's Pizza of New Hope helping to bring us live coverage of this telecast here this evening. We thank them so much and urge you to stop in and visit them. There's Weiss John getting set to kick it off here, and that one's going to go way out of bounds, as they will give Cooper the ball at the 35.
That's the other thing, too, just the penalties tonight on both sides. There's been a lot of penalties, and this is about the third or fourth one where we've had the kick go out of bounds. And again, might not come back to bite Armstrong tonight as they appear, up 3 scores here, but playing Andover maybe next week, or an Elk River, a team that is going to make you pay every time you make that kind of a mistake.
Yeah, we noted it on the night when they played Andover here. We had that telecast that the winner of this section does play the winner of the Andover Elk River game in the state quarterfinals. And here's Fox dropping back, has time, now going to step up. Oh, and College blindsided him there. Bailey got there as well. College had been run past him, and when Fox stepped up, and he didn't see College coming from behind, and he drills him for his second sack of the night.
Yeah, and that's tough as a quarterback. You see Fox has that pocket awareness. He can feel it. He steps up, but thinking that maybe College is out of the play or too far up the field. But that's why if you're a defensive end like that, they have such high motors. You got to sprint up the field 10 yards. You got to come back, and you just don't stop, because you never know when you're going to get a free shot like that. That's what you live for when you're a D-end.
2nd and 12. Here comes College again, and he's going to get him again. Ball pops out late, but he's already down. College back-to-back sacks here. Doing a number on the Hawks, it looks like Fox is shaken up, unfortunately, here.
Well, it's looking like Micah Parsons here the last couple of plays. Just great speed. 6'5", 225 pounds. He's got that great size, playing college football next year. And just watch him off the edge. Just uses his speed, uses his hands. And again, good awareness. I mean, there's nothing Cameron Fox can do there. He tries to get away. But at that point, when you've already got a defensive end with that momentum going, able to run him down.
Not good news here for Cooper either, as Fox is down, although he does pop back up, and he will have to come out, but it kind of looks like he intends to come back.
What happens on that when you get landed on something, you have that football underneath you, and it knocks the wind out of you, and I'll tell you, if you've never experienced getting the wind knocked out of you, it's awful. It literally takes your breath away. And unfortunately for Cooper, he's going to be out of the game here on 3rd and really long.
Devorian Thompson, sophomore, will be in there to take the snap here. Gonna hand it off to Davison in college, making another play off the edge.
He made all 3 on that series there.
And a 4th down situation. So Cooper now down by 21, and you know, as much as you don't want to punt the ball away, you almost have to in this field situation and down and distance.
If it was 4th and 4, 4th and 3, that's a different story, I think. But obviously this 4th and about 20.
Carmo back in punt position. Brecker waiting deep for Armstrong. Carmo gets it away. Brecker is going to get away from it here, not take any chances. It'll be down at the 40 of Armstrong, but 9:44 to go. Falcons up by 3 touchdowns. They're very much in good position to try and wrap this up and seal their 2nd straight section title.
Yeah, second half, really good complimentary football. Remember, Cooper scores right before half. It's a totally different game. It's 21-14. Armstrong takes that first possession of the second half, marches down and scores. Create a turnover, march down and score. I mean, just a really good second half performance here by the Falcons.
And Cooper's been losing guys to injury too. I feel like they probably didn't have as much depth overall as Armstrong coming in anyway, and that certainly hasn't helped. Franke giving it to Johnson, trying to get away from Carmo. Didn't quite get all the way away from him as they finish him off there. Cooper's still playing, that's for sure.
I'll tell you, that was a great battle between great players. Kevon Johnson made a guy miss, looked like he was going to break it out. You see an arm get a hold of him. It was Carmo with just that arm. And they both, neither wanted to give an inch. That was just a great battle, good tackle.
2nd down and 7.
The good news for Cooper, Carmo and Colley are both juniors, so they're coming back. Cameron Fox, a senior. I've been really impressed with his toughness and how he's played tonight too.
Give us to Johnson. Has a little seam to run through there, and he will pick up the 1st down and more into Cooper territory at the 44.
Well, you said it. He had a seam, and he had a seam because he got great push on that left side there on that offensive line. Just really nice. Brandon Cole, 78, did a great job. Big 77 too. Matthews did a nice job there. They got some good size, good beef up front as far as size and weight too. 270, 320, 290. I mean, that's Big Ten level size, Jay.
Armstrong trying to use as much clock as they can. Franke will give it off to Johnson. Oh, and he is wrapped up early there by Colley. Be a loss on the play.
You know, it's hard to say this because, you know, they're losing and Johnson's had a big night, but those are 2 of the best tackling linebackers I've seen all year. Like, they do not miss. They get their arms on him. They're powerful. They're athletic. They're smart. They're strong, too. They're as good a tacklers as I've seen.
Second and long here now is Dayton Franke coming in motion. And Dawson Franke going to throw to Dayton Franke. Catch made. He's brought down after a short gain there, but they keep the clock moving as Jordan Dalton on the tackle there for Cooper.
And again, I mean, Franke wasn't that open. It was just great ball placement. You talk about not only having trust in your quarterback, but Franke, the quarterback, having trust in himself, right? To just always put it on the money. That's a dangerous throw. If he throws it behind or high, I mean, that could be picked off. Instead, just makes a nice throw. It wasn't a big gain, but you got positive yards out of it.
Yeah, and you keep the clock moving, and that's as important as anything now, too.
No incompletion.
Here's Johnson running through a big hole up the middle and breaks another tackle. Now Gurley will ride him down inside the 15. You can kind of sense Cooper starting to wear down a little bit.
Yeah, what happened there, he got to that second level, someone came up and gave him a push instead of wrapping him up. He's just too powerful. He ain't gonna go down with a push. You gotta wrap him up. And 3rd and long, you give it right up the middle, get nothing fancy, just great job up front.
It's funny when
right there, you see the push.
Right there,
you know.
gotta get the arms in there.
Yep.
Many times Cooper's done a decent job on him. Now I'm looking down and he's got over 200 yards rushing tonight, so they haven't done that good a job. There's been plays where they have, but.
And then how about the number of attempts? I mean, he's got to be close to 30.
And Johnson brought down. There's Allen making another nice stop.
You throw him in there too with Colley and Carmel as far as tackles. But that's why you feed a guy like Kevon Johnson, that you feed him the ball that many times. You feed him 30 times. You might stop him on 12 of them, but he's gonna break the majority of them, or at least enough of them where you get those yards up. He's very impressive.
Well, and he is that good combination of being a guy who's speedy enough to be a home run threat, yet still can get some of the tough yards too. Even
he's
not being all that big.
You know what would have been fun is the Andover game we did, seeing him go against, and I forget the running back's name for Davenport. Yeah, those two very similar, weren't they? I mean, just kind of shifty and crafty,
and we could see that next week.
Yeah, be a good matchup.
I'm going to mention too that the once again same site where Armstrong played last year in the quarterfinals. Not too bad of a drive, Osseo High School.
Yeah.
So that the winner of this game against either Andover or Elk River. I was, hard not to be impressed with Andover, that the way they came here and put one on Armstrong.
Yeah. But your Elks, your alma mater, struggled this year, but at times have looked great. Had a big win last week, and good matchup here tonight with Andover and Elk River going on at the same time.
2nd and 7. Franke spinning and is brought down for a loss. There's Tony Colley again. Doing a nice job there, a loss of a couple. I'm not sure if that was exactly what they had in mind in that play, or if there was a little spin out. I think they were trying to get the defense flowing the other way, but Colley just was too quick and ran it down.
Yeah, and I think the snap was that way too, and taking that spin just kind of screwed up the timing of it. And again, a guy like Colley coming off the edge, and we've seen, on the other side of that, Manny Allen coming off the edge. Those guys are fast enough and good enough to run you down on the weak side.
They're going to be butting up against now. They're going to take a timeout. I'm going to say they're just about to get a delay of game here.
And they look over for signals every once in a while. You hope Michigan isn't in the stands watching those signals right now. What do you think of that?
That's quite a deal. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if the Big Ten has the guts to do anything to the premier program in the league right now. Or
I didn't think much of it until I've seen some of the details on it, Jay, and then I also saw a graphic that showed the record before this started versus the record since that started, and it's mind-blowing. Yeah, be interesting to see. A pretty complete game tonight by the Armstrong Falcons, who really responded.
I want to give one more thanks to our sponsors for the live broadcast tonight. Frankie's Pizza of New Hope, 36th and Winnetka, and also Papa's Cafe in New Hope as well. They're on 42nd Avenue, and great made-from-scratch food, and also financial support from District 281 to bring you live coverage of playoff football here. Franke gonna keep it now and throwing for Brecker, and he drops it right in for the touchdown.
That was a slow developing play. He had to have time to have Brecker, who ran a crossing route, came all the way over from the right side of the field, crossing back to the left, held onto it as long as he could, and then he had to put a little bit of extra height on that ball and just dropped it right into the lap. Great play call, great execution. Hey, when things are rolling, things are rolling. Brecker had a really nice game tonight. Interception, a couple of huge catches. And that time ran across the field. Tough catch, too, with his fingertips, able to get in.
His second touchdown reception. And Weisjohn's extra point attempt is up and good. So 4:49 to go, and Armstrong now up 42-14.
Yeah, and a nice job, too, by Frankie, knowing he was going to take a hit, right? He kind of see him ride out that play action a little bit longer and knew he was going to take a hit, had to maybe get rid of it a little bit early and just had to throw it up. Great touch. And I'll tell you, play action, everyone always says, well, why don't more teams run play action? Well, you have to have a running game that merits the defense to react to it. If you don't run the ball well, they're not going to react to it. Well, Armstrong has ran the football tonight, and you give Johnson that ball, it makes it look like he's going to have it. Defense collapses, you throw it over the top. Really nicely done, and Armstrong really putting up points tonight, 42 of them.
Weisjohn will kick it off here, and again they'll pop it up on the kick. And Oates is wrestled down hard there. And so Cooper will get it back here. Looks like Fox will be able to come back in there, but facing a big deficit here. Boy, that when they scored that touchdown to pull within 7 at halftime, you still felt like they were very much in the game, despite, overall being outplayed in the first half. But second half has not gone well for Cooper.
And I thought Cooper was resilient in that first half. Like you said, their offense struggled. They looked like this might get away from them, and they just responded. And that great play, that great pass by Cameron Fox before the end of the half, and to get them to score, I thought we might have a game here.
Fox firing out here, and it is complete. As Oates on the catch. Get him about 8 or 9 there.
Yeah, nice pass too by Thompson there.
Second and a yard now for Fox and the Hawks offense. He's going to throw it back this way, and it's picked off. Adam will go in for the touchdown. Things going from bad to worse right now for Cooper.
Yeah, and they've had success running that play. It's a long throw. It's a lateral throw. It's not a deep throw. And that time he went from the short field all the way across the field. The ball hangs in the air, and Adam did a great job at reading that. He saw that. I was watching that whole play develop. I watched him. He saw it, broke on it, and was right there for a great catch and the finish.
Weisjohn will attempt to add another extra point here. And he is now 7 for 7.
Yeah, busy night for him. But here's that play. You see, throwing all the way across the field. That ball's in the air a long time. And a pretty athletic catch. He kind of almost over-anticipated, had to go back for it, reach up high for it. And that's every defensive player's dream, right? To get that interception with nothing in front of you.
Yeah, once you catch it, there's not really too many people that even have a realistic shot at you.
You know what happens, Jay, is you end up that split second, you take a look and you drop that, right? I mean, but that's just well scouted, right? Knowing, and again, Cooper's ran that a few times and I had a little bit of success, but that's a lot different when you're throwing all the way across the field like that. And Adem just made a great break on it.
And that kick will again go out of bounds, so they seem to be fine with that. Yeah, we'll be running time now with this margin as well.
I got to be honest, I did not see running time in the cards at halftime going on there after that Cooper touchdown.
That's one that's certainly gotten away from Cooper in the second half. Fox scrambling here, and then they finally catch up to him and bring him down for a loss. Bailey and
yeah, kind of a covered sack too that time. No, just nowhere to go with the football down the field. And it's hard too when a team knows you're in passing down and distance all the time. Those pass rushers can tee up. Defensive backs aren't worried about getting beat because you're playing pretty far deep already. You want to get that pick, that next pick.
Oh, nice run.
Get back that sack yardage and then a little more there as Davison on the carry.
Yeah, this game, such a game of momentum. This was very close. A couple of plays away, I think, from being a more competitive game. Cooper made enough plays, moved the ball, got a good kick return, got those 2 fumbles in the 5. Those things break a different direction. It could be a very different outcome tonight.
So it'll be a 4th down here for Cooper as we're under 2 minutes remaining. Swing it out to Young. Makes a cut, and he will have enough for the 1st down as they stand him up right around midfield. The clock will stop as they move the chains. Actually, Cooper's going to use a timeout here now too. 1:32 to go. Well, Cooper will get a fresh set of downs right at midfield here with 1:32 to go. Fox rolling to his right. Takes a bump as he gets rid of that one and out of bounds. It was caught by the defender, but ball already out of play.
Noah Gorgos in good position there. Yeah, just no one open down the field.
Cooper, it's going to end a disappointing night, but a good bounce back year for them as they had a great year 2 years ago, and then last year really young team and kind of struggled some, but they're still a good strong program. Going to have a tough ending to the season tonight, but that is a completion, but he was still in bounds as the catch made there by Oates.
Yeah, and like we talked about too, I think they got a lot of talent coming back too. Samaj Young, who looked explosive tonight from kickoffs to returns to a couple of nice catches. He's only a sophomore. Karma only a junior. Colley a junior.
Davison will take the handoff here, and this could maybe be the last play of the game. Cooper might try to hurry up and get something more, but
Manny Allen only a junior for them.
We'll tick down one more play here as Fox steps up. He's going to throw it up deep downfield. It'll be out of bounds, and it is Armstrong returning to the state tournament. A dominant second half as they roll to a 49-14 win, and some momentum heading into that state quarterfinals now.
Yeah, you got to be really pleased with how they played as a complete team tonight, offensively, defensively. They ran the ball, they threw the ball. Their offense looks completely different than we saw just a couple of weeks ago, and having number one back and healthy, you see what a threat he was tonight. It was fun to watch.
We'll take a timeout and we'll come back and hear from the Falcons in a moment. 49-14, Armstrong rolling here as they pull away from Cooper.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Jason, let's go see your room.
How is it? Is it good?
Armstrong receiving their section championship trophy here in 5A back-to-back seasons.
Congratulations, Falcons.
Had some adversity a little bit late in that first half, but came out and really controlled things in the second to secure the W here as they scored one time in the third and then three more in the fourth while holding Cooper off the board entirely in that second half. And what became a rout late was a seemingly much closer game for the first half anyway. And you see the Falcons be playing at noon at Osseo against the Elk River Andover winner, which as of now looks like Andover. And based on the season that they had overall, we saw how good Andover was when they came here and thumped Armstrong in week 8 of the regular season too. So certainly a formidable opponent, but one that they have seen before, if it indeed is turn out to be Andover. There tend to be a lot of points when Andover and Elk River play, though, so I guess you can't say it's out of reach yet. That game was starting at 7 p.m., so an hour later start than this one, so still potentially got a little bit of time to go in that one before it is decided. But we do know the Falcons will be heading just up 169 a short stretch to play over at Osseo's Carlton Field for that quarterfinal game. Let's hope the weather holds out for next weekend as well, as be the last round of outdoor games in the quarterfinals for the teams in all the classes. So nice victory for Armstrong, and again Cooper, strong season. It doesn't end the way they wanted to here tonight, obviously, but they ended up with a 7-3 mark, and another building block for, as we talked about, how young of a group that they do have. A lot of those guys will be back and got a good taste of experience here in the playoffs, and will be coming back strong next season. And Armstrong obviously has got some good young players coming back as well, along with a lot of seniors in their group, that they will be trying to take that next step and see if they can't win their first state playoff game next week. Last year had a lead, but Rogers rallied past them in that quarterfinal round game in the state 5A playoffs. So a 49-14 win here for the Falcons this evening to claim the Section 5 championship. Ryan's going to be grabbing a couple of Falcons in a moment. We're going to take a quick timeout, and we will get to that in just a moment here. Again, it's Armstrong defeating Cooper 49-14.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Welcome back to Armstrong. Let's go down to field level now with Ryan.
All right, thanks, Jay. Well, I'm with the 1-2 punch, literally with the jersey numbers. I got Kevon Johnson and I got Gideon Brecker. Kevon, I'm going to start with you. We did your game a couple weeks ago against Andover. Offense definitely looked different. We couldn't figure out why. We come tonight, we see you back there. Magic happened. 232 yards, 3 touchdowns. What'd you think of your night tonight?
I feel like I played fantastic. Like, our O-line was doing their thing, opening the hole for me. I was able to just follow behind them, make a couple moves, and break out and win this game for us, you know?
Well, one of the things, and we'll get to this with Gideon in a minute, but I thought you guys you have great balance. You can throw, you can run. Obviously, having you there as a home run threat every time you touch the ball. I mean, what do you think your team feels like, the confidence that you add to this offense?
I feel like with me out there, we were able to, steadily, like you said, have that balance, that run game, that pass game. Our quarterback, he's versatile. He can run, too. So with all that power, we definitely, have a chance of winning this whole thing.
Last question for you, Cooper. Rivals, those guys. Very close game earlier in the year. Were you surprised tonight, 49-14?
Yeah, they were a tough team before, but we weren't precisely ready, But we added a couple plays in, We made sure we were ready for them this time,
Well, congrats on a great night tonight. Good luck going forward.
Appreciate it.
All right, Gideon. 2 ways tonight: interception, 6 catches, 2 touchdowns. Talk a little bit about what you had tonight.
Well, I wasn't expecting to kind of have this type of game, but I knew that I had to step up, right? This is a big game, and I know it's going to come my way, so I had to be ready for it and just lock in, really.
And having Kevon there, right, where defenses, have to collapse on that. Your play action, I thought, was fantastic tonight. And your quarterback trusts you. He puts it – a little bit of talk about your quarterback and how accurate he was with the football, too.
I'm sort of blessed to have a quarterback like Dawson, He always puts it on me, and he knows I'm able to make the catch, and so – We have tight bond, really.
Surprised that it ended up being 49-14 against a rival, a team that you guys know really well?
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was going to kind of be more like the game early in the season, right? The double overtime win. I thought it was going to be a little tighter like that, but a win's a win, and especially section finals like this is awesome.
Well, so tonight you celebrate. You won section. You're going to state. How soon do you start getting locked in on that next opponent, if it's Andover, if it's Elk River? And what do you guys have to do to not only win, next week, but maybe make a deep run into the state tournament this year?
Well, we got to lock in for the next game immediately, right? This is a big win, but we got to lock in for what's coming next, right? State is much bigger than sections, and I think that we do have a chance. I think we can make a run, really.
Well, you guys look great. Congrats on your big night tonight, too. Enjoy it. All right. Back to you, Jay.
Thanks very much, Ryan, and congratulations to the Falcons. And again, they will be taking on the Section 7 winner next Saturday over at Osseo at a 12 noon start. Thanks so much for watching tonight's game. And again, thanks to our sponsors as well, Frankie's and Papa's, along with District 281 for providing financial support for our live broadcast here tonight. Hope you've enjoyed this one. For Ryan Iverson and all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Armstrong defeating Cooper 49-14 to win the Section 5 title.
CCX Media. We are your connected community experience.